Hey guys, welcome to the Phinnean podcast, where we take a fun look and a critical approach to the UAP field, sightings, abductions, testimonials, interviews, as well as video footage, analyzed through a critical lens, of course. So join us, sit back, enjoy the ride. Hey, here we are. It's another episode of the Phinnean podcast.
We're back. Phinnean podcast, yo!
Yeah.
Good to see you again, Larry.
Good to see you, my good friend.
What are we gonna do today?
So, on today's menu, we got a couple of things that we're going to start off with. So, we're going to take a look at a couple of holograms and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the
pretty cool.
So the name of this episode is The Real Reveal, and it's going to have a few parts to it that we'll release separately. And we're going to go through a lot of stuff here today. The first part is kind of like a study on the technological developments and how far we've come with holograms, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I guess we'll elaborate on it as we go.
Yeah. So I think with no further ado, we'll go right into the first clip here.
With no further ado.
Number one.
Yeah. So
Danger in the Skies, which is our new UFO threat.
Can you hit a little volume?
Scores, perhaps hundreds of Arizonans were privy to one of the most dramatic UFO sightings of the modern age. And at least one Phoenix resident also witnessed a strange holographic image in the wake of that massive triangular UFO. But was she the only one who got a glimpse of the truth? At 8:30 Mountain Standard Time, a caller to the National UFO Reporting Center stated that he had seen the giant triangle and what he thought was a red laser beam shoot out of the craft very near to where Christine...
Well, you see the holograms this one witness saw? So when we did our podcast about the Phoenix Lights, we didn't touch on this, but you see what they're saying right now. I don't know if you can pump up the volume a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I know we're at 100. So what we'll do is we'll put this video on our website so you can see it uninterrupted and kind of in its entirety, and then you can decipher it for yourself. But this lady and her husband wrote a bunch of books together talking about a lot of things, but this hologram is one thing in particular that I find interesting because it's going to segue into a lot of other parts of this episode. So here, for example, watch this.
Hugo was shooting a test of a red laser beam in downtown Mexico City. And when the laser beam appeared, so did a UFO.
They were shooting the lasers from one building to another. A beam was thrown, and I started taking pictures. I came back to the newspaper to develop them, and I showed them to Mr. Camacho, that we had lights or spots on the film. He told me to process the negatives and develop them again. I cleaned the negative.
So hit pause for a second. So you hear what he said? He saw a laser beam, and then after that, a UFO appered.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a coincidence, or they work in tandem with each other. You know, like
I would say more like a UFO arrived.
Right? It was a beacon, or it was part of the arrival.
It's either that mothership thing, and there's either like a beacon down here or whatever, and it needs to get a certain amount of energy to it, and it's either processing that, you know, in like the interim before you see anything, it does the beam of light and is able to pull it down into our atmosphere like that, you know, and then the invert of that, I think. I may have witnessed some of that firsthand, which I think we're going to get into it at a later date, I'm sure. But that is more about the orbs and things like that, which
sure.
I think, you know, that I'm a little closer to in my life. But, you know, some cool things there on that for sure, but that I'm definitely observing through a lot of these videos and stuff like that versus what I actually saw in Montauk. So, you know, some cool things to kind of follow up with that as well, you know. There's some definitely... some experiences here that, you know, we're definitely going to start sharing.
Yeah, and there's some stuff that overlaps, you know, with our own personal experience and the stuff we've been sharing. But, hit play. Let's see what else this gentleman has to say.
The situation is that in negative number 2, the points appear vertical.
So you see the beam, the flash of light that came out?
They appear again.
And then I don't see what is circled there, but I do see the beams.
Look at that.
Then it skips to number 8, when the points are horizontal. I have been with the paper for 26 years, and I have reached the conclusion that this was not any spots or reflections, but real luminous points that were in the sky.
Mexico City, because of its pollution, it would be an ideal place to experiment with.
You notice there's that mist too with a lot of these things too. It just seems like a generated disguise. It's a little bit coincidental when you're seeing all these sightings. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just, maybe in the lenticular clouds and things like that. I'm
hiding
just
in
kind of
plain
seeing
sight.
this,
Sure.
it's a fog, sure, but it's definitely gonna corrupt some viewership of it.
appeared on one of the smoggiest days of the year.
Yeah,
There you go.
there it
There's
is.
another one of those starships.
Yeah. Hiding in the clouds.
Yeah. So
So yeah, so
Pretty
this
cool
next
stuff.
one, this next video, or this next still. So this is kind of like, yeah. So this is drone. I believe this is like drone.
it's a drone display.
Yeah, like a motion.
Company,
and this is I think this is Beijing or something. But like this is drone technology, like creating like some kind of animation. Is it? I think it falls in line with the kind of hologram scenario. It's just another form of this technology. But obviously this is man-made.
I mean, it seems like there's a screen in the sky, behind the clouds.
Oh,
almost like
totally.
projecting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Again, there's those clouds that sort of, are maybe sort of projecting sort of like a wall of mist.
Yeah, or
that
acting like
that
a
they could project
backdrop.
onto.
Yeah.
You're right, a backdrop or a front drop. Like,
I mean,
almost,
look how crazy
almost
this
like
is.
that old technology of those, like, hey, you want to have a movie theater at home, and it kind of projects onto the screen. And maybe this is the invert of that. We're sort of seeing the back of it. Pretty wild.
Yeah, so it's pretty stunning, the capabilities with regards to technology that's out there now and the things that they're able to pull off. I mean, like, look at this. I mean, this is the maneuvering. I mean, like the way. I mean, I couldn't even start to figure out how to pull this off. But I mean, that technology, right, man-made. I mean, think about what you could do with that technology, right? So, it could easily be used to not to our benefit, right?
Right. I mean, I think that if you could put up some really friendly lights and some friendly things to see there, you could probably insert whatever you want. Almost like, just like we see in the movies. I mean, you could project a pseudo invasion, to scare people or something like that. Or you could really, let's say that, and hey, take a picture of that and then log on, right? But I mean, I think that kind of as I've been mentioning, is sort of like this sort of military aspect to the things, right? And I'm going to pause here for a second.
Sure.
Is that it's sort of like maybe this is like they're testing this stuff out, just kind of how's the public going to get used to seeing stuff like this, or whatever, or what is the reaction of the public and stuff like that. I think a lot of things are being gauged there. And that being said, it's like, okay, so what's the perception here? All right, is it comfortable? Is it not comfortable? What are we doing that? Check these boxes, right? But then now you flip over to what our military would, use it for, or how they could use this, right? And let's say that this sort of, screen was set up and it was either done maybe by our enemies, doing it to us. I mean, I don't know if we're looking at, one of our cities or not. It's almost like, where is this really being shot, right?
Well, this is Beijing.
Right. Okay, so it's in Beijing, as we're told. So that being said, it's almost like, so these projections, right, let's say that we flip this over to the other side, right, and it's like, okay, it's military-based, and they're going to use a military screen now, or a military, sort of like, maybe it's a military design to get our enemies kind of coordinated in a certain area. You could show anything you want there. It would look like, a plane. It could look like multiple bombers. It could look like certain things where you can kind of coordinate an effort. And then all of a sudden, in comes the truth or not, whatever. Then comes by a big, use your imagination, electronic pulse, let's call it, or something like that. But whatever it is, it could knock out a city. It could knock out whatever. But, it's like the perception of this, if you want to scare people into it or not, or actually do something with it, I think that that's kind of, almost like an option.
Sure.
And I'm just thinking from a military perspective here, right?
Well, to your point, I mean, what's to prevent them from creating something that looks like a disc in the clouds with rotating lights, right?
Right.
Very familiar to what we just discussed in our previous podcast.
Right. That's a small.
So it's like where does the truth and the lie, what separates those two things from each other?
No doubt.
So I think if you go to the next one, this is a still of that. What do they call these things again?
That's a phone scan, a QR scan.
Yeah, the QR scan. So look, they're able to do that with.
I mean, what a way to advertise too. Just throw up a QR code in the sky. Somebody goes bang, and then all of a sudden.
I tried to capture this on my phone. Yeah, it's genius.
It's whatever you need to do.
It's freaking genius.
I mean? And then
I tried to capture this off the screen with my phone, but it wouldn't register.
Right.
So I was just wanted to know what it was about.
It's wild. Yeah, but I mean, I think that we could do a printout, reverse that to black. Your phone picks up black.
Oh, yeah, we should. That'd be interesting.
We could probably play with that.
Just to see what it's about.
We'll see where we show up in, on a Chinese screen somewhere in China. Who knows?
It's like an Alibaba commercial. Oh yeah, so see, like, this is hologram stuff, right? I mean, I think it's hologram because if you hit play, you'll see, like, I don't know what the belief is out there on if we really have a space station out there somewhere, but you'll see, this object. Watch this. I mean, just keep your eye on this cylinder. Right? Things are not what they appear to be. And then it's bloop. Oh. You want to watch that again?
Absolutely. Wow.
So, like, what is that? Did they botch it? Did they botch, like, like some kind of fucking space station propaganda bullshit?
Seems like a test.
Or
our astronauts is up there, or somebody's up there, Viewing from what, though? Another satellite or a part of this?
I don't know.
It all seems like...
How do you explain that?
We seem consistent with this, it's the International Space Station or it's not. It's like incoming, they're doing a mock view of, hey, what's coming onto our ship, we're getting our cargo, and then whoops. And then you see the black area, and then it's like, the whole screen just kind of flipped out there a little bit. So
is that real? Is it a botched hologram? Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know, but we're going to get some feedback, hopefully.
Oh, watch this. Have you seen this one yet?
This one I did not see.
Hit play on this. This is fucking ridiculous. Watch this, dude. This is insane. So again, just to demonstrate the hologram capabilities, at the moment, right? And I say that in regards to what we are aware of, right? Like what you're about to see, in my mind, is mind blowing, and they whoever they are have allowed us to see this, right? Can you imagine what we don't know about? Yeah. Check this out, dude.
Right, it's like what they're finally ready to release.
This is insane. Move our window out of the way.
Anybody from anywhere to anywhere in real time, and when you're looking into the camera, you're looking into your audience's eyes. So if you're an educator, or if you're a politician, or if you're an inspirational speaker or a religious leader, you could beam from the safety and security of your...
Do you understand what just happened? Rewind it a tad bit. Rewind it just a touch.
Processing.
Just right here to that line. Watch this. This is insane.
What we decided to do was we shrunk these giant hologram stage apparatus from big arena stage pieces into what you see.
And we'll put these, isolated on their own with links on our website. Absolutely. So, you can listen to them on your own. You don't have to hear us talking over them.
You guys can view them in tandem, whatever you want to do with them.
Well, watch this. And boop, in real time. Look at it. There's no lag.
It's instant. I mean, that's...
That is fucking crazy.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
With that.
You can do a lot of sinister things with that.
I haven't seen anything positive other than this guy coming out and saying hi.
Well, this is like, oh, you can give a lecture, and like, okay, that's great, but like,
it's the new Zoom.
Dude, this is insane, dude. But
this is good. I can go.
Look at how he moves, and it's all just like legit. It's crazy, dude.
Absolutely wild.
Distribute portal hologram machines to any country in the world, and in real time you could beam from wherever you are into as many places. So
again, this is a demonstration of the technology that is available, and again, I say that lightly because who knows what else is out there that we don't know about, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
we're getting a taste. We're getting a taste because I mean, if it's endless of what you could put in this box, then it's just like, what do we believe anymore? What is commercial, what it is not, and I think that other countries may have a little bit of a, a lead start or head start rather.
Yeah, or all the powers that be could all be working together.
True that.
On a plot that you know, I mean, I'll give you my theories when we get towards the end of this kind of like.
Literally just won Country Music Awards, and then we were beaming them back.
So you want to head over to the next one?
Yeah, sure.
Right at the end of this.
Yeah.
I mean, let that play out.
It's good. But I mean, like, you know, like, look how compelling that is, right? Like, it's freaking, like, that is legit insane to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Oh, and then this, you know, we have no political affiliation on this program. However, here's another example of hologram, and look at our president's hands hovering over microphones from two different angles, and they're both very, very bizarre.
So is he there?
Well, I don't... Right. Is he there, or are they there? Right? Like, if you rewind, you can see, like, if you go to here, you can see, like, here it goes. Watch. Yeah, watch this. When he points his hand down like that, it's like right there.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see that?
It went over the mic and he's in front of it.
Do you think you'll rewind it and pause it at that moment? Dude, how crazy is that, bro? What the fuck is going on? Right? So
There he is.
yes, dude, that is so weird. I mean, like, how can you defend that something strange is not
It's
happening?
bizarre.
Right?
They're probably protecting him someplace else or whatever. I mean,
Whatever
I don't
it may
know. Or
be,
they are.
but again,
They're not
like
there.
this is like the technology is out
this
there to
guy walking in
fucking
the back,
fool
too.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I mean, like this gets even more bizarre because when you hear the audio, the helicopter is, you can hear the helicopter, but when you see the helicopter, the rudder isn't moving. You hear the helicopter?
It's firing up the engine, but I think that usually works in tandem with the...
Look at the slow motion. From both angles,
Right, and
they fucked it up.
I don't know who put that out there.
Look at that, dude.
It's like,
Dude,
oops,
that's
yeah.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy because you see it on one side
It's
far
a total
away.
trip, man. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
it's a
going
trip.
from one hologram to the next here, it seems like. So,
I mean, I mean, for me, it's. Oh, look at this. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen this
So
one.
this is Drew Barrymore, right? Not that we're promoting her show or anything, but look how crazy this is. Oh, all right, goodbye. I can't touch you because of COVID 6 feet. Dude,
Oh, my God. It's like the whole time.
it's been bullshit. They were never even in the fucking same room, dude.
It's incredible.
Do that again. How crazy, bro. Look at this. Right? You watch the
Hey.
show, you think they're in the same room.
We'll see
like,
you later.
boom, they're not
Hey,
even there, dude.
You're not going to get germs. You know what I mean? I mean, you know.
Dude, it's crazy. What's the next one? I don't even remember what we have. Oh, dude. All right. So hit. Don't hit. Yeah, hit play. So there's a storm coming, people.
Imagine the stuff you can get in trouble with. And
Yeah.
absolved of. It's like,
I mean, if you can trick people,
we need a piece of glass. People would be walking around with like,
we need something.
break a bottle quick.
A truth finder. So check this out, bro. This is this past New Year's Eve in Seattle. All of that shit that you're seeing,
Look at that.
you could see with the naked eye from street level. All of this, bro. This is hologram tech
It's
on
like-
a completely different
So
level.
that means that like everything is in a box almost. Like
Who knows?
if
I
you
mean,
take
where
that box and
where
you
are the
extend it.
boundaries?
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. So my point, right? Like you said before, like, you know, it's the military could use it, and I like to elaborate on
anything.
that, dude. What's to say you can't fucking make up
Who's
a
gonna
bunch of UFOs?
Who's gonna outbid the technology? Hollywood or the military?
Dude, look how crazy that is, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know.
And who's to say this isn't fucking the military?
It's probably up for sale right now. It's like, look at what we can do
Yeah,
here.
the
Hey,
military
you know,
ha-
who's the highest bidder?
Look at this, bro. So here's Project
I suggest
Bluebeam.
entrepreneurs get together and we buy it.
If you guys aren't familiar with Project Bluebeam, that's going to be our next episode. But let this play, dude. Check this out. I don't know if this is real. You know, like if this is... Like if the people can really see this. This might be bullshit because like nobody in the audience kind of reacts to this dragon. They might be seeing it on the home screen. But I mean, could you imagine if you're in the audience? Like, let's assume that this is not bullshit.
Yeah, it looks like people are filming that screen back there, but I don't know. We would have to kind of...
Is somebody filming this? and there's a dragon fucking flying around over your head. Granted, it's very pixelated. Like it's
can
not.
you imagine that thing flew around town?
Yeah. Could you imagine that was in the shape of a UFO?
My kids would love it.
Right? And here we are all fucking...
Depends on what we give them, right?
all freaking out because of fucking UFOs.
Oh my God, how wild this is.
Dude, it's insane, bro.
You gonna throw out the first pitch?
But you see how the guys on the field aren't reacting, so I don't know.
Right, they'd be ducking.
Yeah, or something. Reacting to something.
Okay, there's a dragon here.
Impressed. You know, but there's nothing going on. So I don't know. This one might be a little far-fetched.
I think from his breath, they would have been knocked over.
Yeah, something.
From what I've read.
Or being like, wow, or like clapping or something. But like nobody, like these people's heads don't even turn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was kind of like it looked like there were people filming and like they had their cameras out and stuff like that. They would have pulled back and panned and then, you know.
I think it would have been like.
They would have reacted something
right.
if that thing was flying at you. I mean, regardless of whether or not you knew something was coming. I mean, if a dragon's flying at you, you know, you're going to duck.
Dude, but look at this. This is
We've
that
all seen
Seattle
that.
thing again. Look at that, bro.
We've all seen them breathe before, you know.
So this is like a photo
fire
montage.
weapons.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the remake of V? Remember that show V?
That was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah. So they did a remake, which was good on its own. It only lasted 2 seasons though, so they're doing like a photo montage now. But I think the point of this is what's to say, right? Like
That wasn't help programming, like.
no. Well, yeah, this is programming definitely. But what's to say that a hologram can't look like that? Like an alien's face on the underside of a huge fucking ship. Like when we go out tomorrow, you know, like all of a sudden there's an alien invasion, right, that they've been prepping us for, but it's all holograms and bullshit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dude, look how crazy this is, dude. Look. And obviously, you know, they're gonna throw some scripture in there.
Yeah. Right.
But what do you think about this, dude?
I mean, I think that it's absolutely nuts, man. You know, and it's kind of like you look at some of the technology versus, you know, let's talk about, you know, in the category, right? So let's just say, you know, in entertainment, right? I mean, they show some crazy things when you go to the theater, right? But it's then like, how are they producing these things? And it seems like that production has been picking up and stuff like that. And it's almost like, this just seems like a tease almost to like what they can really do. And I think that this is only scratching the surface, to be honest with you. I mean, it's like Game of Thrones. You know, Game of Thrones coming to life. We just gave them Game of Thrones. Maybe they're ready. You know, I don't know. Maybe 80% of America saw Game of Thrones. Who knows? You know, whatever it is, or like in the major cities. And hey, we're gonna start teasing out things that are kind of like that. So maybe they won't bug out when they see it for the first time. You know what I mean? It's like.
I'm just curious to see like when it happens, if it happens in our lifetime, how many people are gonna be willing to consider that.
Yeah.
It may not be what they think it is. You know what I mean? Like it's a complete fucking.
Well, now your mind's not only going to play tricks on you; you're going to have to second guess everything now. Where it's kind of like, if you're seeing anything in the sky that's anomalous, right?
Dude, look
it's
at
sort
that.
of like, is
Look
this a
at
show?
fucking UFO right
Am I
there?
here? I mean, of course it does. Like the top of that could just kind of land or take off. I've seen a couple of things that kind of like in that shape on top of things. I mean, that one cool thing that we saw about China, which I think is coming up next, kind of lends itself to that, if you would. But, you know, more to come.
Excuse me?
So yeah, so look at that. Like, what's to say that they can't produce a hologram that looks like that hovering over the city, and you think it's fucking real and it's all bullshit, and people are fucking gonna people are gonna panic, dude. No one's gonna be able to be like prepared for that.
Yeah.
People are gonna die of heart attacks just from the stress.
But maybe they're gonna do this and showcase it as entertainment. You know what I mean?
I don't know,
and
man.
then after this gets showcased at entertainment, it's almost like they can come and go as they please and not worry about the little lens algorithms and things like that we kind of been touching base on and working out ahead of time.
I don't know.
Or
man.
finding on our own.
I
So-
think that there's a reality of real ETs and UFOs but they're not going to present themselves to us. Like the thing that gets presented to us first is going to be some bullshit like this, and people are going to think it's the real thing. Yeah. Only because think about what's been happening in the media with the programming in these movies and these TV shows. Like they're trying to, like you said, mentally prepare for who's going to be ready to accept it.
Yeah.
They've been implementing a plan that will result in the extermination of every man, woman,
See?
and child.
If you could speak to the protesters.
I mean, this is just wild stuff. You know, I mean, who knows how they're gonna start teasing this stuff out? You know, I mean, today's what, 31st of May, and it's like, you know, we're trying to get ahead of this as far as like getting the message out there and being positive and showing some good things. But it's just like, wait a minute, what do we got here? Because it's like, who knows what actually comes next?
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? Or who knows what what we've been seeing? So it's kind of like,
What do we do now?
Well, also, who knows?
you pick, you know.
Yeah, and who knows what impact it's going to have on, like, all the other stuff, right? Like, you know, people already question religion, and they already question, you know, their faith, and, like, how are people going to start to get manipulated with this shit if
it's almost like
if
I said,
used
it's
for
up
a
for
sinister
bid, I think,
purpose.
and then it's like from that bidding war, whoever's going to win the technology over first and release it, it's like, you know, what's the agenda? You know, is it religion based? You know, is it military based? Is it, you know, advertising based? Is it, you know, what's it going to be?
Are they going to try and sell us something?
Why not? I can sell some pretty sick products by showing you that you either buy this or here it comes. You know, so some wild stuff, man. Definitely some cool stuff to view in that. And again, you know, we're going to throw some links up and stuff like that if you guys want to view more of these videos, you know, on your own or to run them in tandem with the podcast. I mean, by all means, I think that's very doable. This stuff is out there, guys. So, you know, we kind of just lifted a couple of really cool topics for today, which I think were beyond relevant for this. So, you know, I think that was it.
Yep. So what do we always say?
Well, you know, thanks again for, you know, viewing and to listening to us, guys. You know, we appreciate it. We'd love to get any feedback. Any and all feedback is welcome, of course. And, you know, don't forget to look up.
That's right. Don't forget to look up. Peace.
Peace.